Hello and welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to another Minecraft video. In this video I'm going to be showing you what we've been getting up to in our survival world since I last showed you. Now admittedly I don't have many complete builds to show you, but I do have some very interesting projects that are under construction that I think you're going to like. I'm also going to show you the Woodland Mansion that we found on this world, and some questionable map art that a friend of mine made. You'll see what I mean later on. The first thing we're going to do is I'm going to take the long journey through the Nether to reach the Woodland Mansion coordinates. It's very, very far away, but it'll be worth it. There's a cool little statue and some other little things to check out while we're there. And we're also going to take the design of the statue that we find in that Woodland Mansion, and we're going to bring it back here and we're going to recreate it somewhere nice, somewhere visible. So I thought that'd be pretty cool to do. So I'm going to start my long journey now, and we'll be at the Woodland Mansion before you know it. And here we are. You can see from the coordinates 28,686 by 22,225, and it took a long time to get here. Full credit has to go to my friend Envision for getting us here. Well, getting the access to here anyway. We managed to find a villager who was selling the Woodland Mansion map, and we all set out on the journey to find it, but we all sort of flaked. I mean, it was taking hours to find where it was on the map anyway. I don't know if anyone's ever gone searching for the Woodland Mansion with a map, but what happens is you see the location on the map, but you're not in the chunk that's loaded, so you have to keep going. And I decided to call it quits on the adventure. My other friend, Mr. Ghost Velocity, fell asleep as well. But Mr. Envision, he powered through, and he's the reason that we have access to it. So big ups to him. It's also not going to be the last time I mention him in this video. He's done some other cool stuff. But for now, let's just have a little look around. I mean, there is no loot really to be had here. I think it is still worth taking a pilgrimage out to, if you do find a Woodland Mansion map in your survival world. I think it's definitely worth coming out here because you get a lot of build ideas. I mean, look at that. All that is a fence post. That's all it is, but it looks cool, doesn't it, in that right context. This would be, the map room, which I think is a really good idea. One of the projects I'm going to show you later on is a map room under construction. It looks nothing like this, it's just a building at the moment, but I like this idea. I mean, maybe when I make like a mega structure around the home base, I'd like to, incorporate a room pretty similar to this into it. Another little idea. What you could do is you could put like a bucket of lava there and have like a little trash can like I've got back at my base, and then all you would do is just like throw it. Well, that's a bad throw. Throw it into the fire. You get the idea. Yeah, I like that. Ah, here it is. Here is the statue. So this is what we're gonna do back at home base. This is the idea. And what I'm just gonna remove this wall, these two walls, so it's easier for us to have a look at. So we've removed the walls so it's easier for us to take a good look at the structure. And I've already done the counting. It is 5 blocks wide and 12 blocks long, with the ears and the tail standing at 7 blocks tall. It's not going to be too hard to recreate. I'm feeling very confident. I think the hardest part is going to be finding a nice location for it to sit in, because I've also got another idea. I want to put a dome around it, not here, when we recreate it at the base. I want to make it like into a room itself, but I think a nice little glass dome would look good. Or whether just having it on a, on a plinth, like a raised plinth as an actual statue. But who knows? But yeah, it's pretty cool. I don't need to farm any of the blocks because I've already got all the materials back at base that I need. It's not going to be too hard. But yeah, let's just appreciate it a little bit more in this environment. Right next to it, from the wall that I removed, is another example of a map room. And again, I really like that chandelier idea, along with you know, using the stairs on the outside of wooden planks, you know, to give that table illusion, and then just outright using the stairs as chairs. It's really good. I definitely recommend taking a pilgrimage out to the Woodland Mansion. The loot isn't great, you know, you're only going to get a couple of totems of Undying. You might find some valuable blocks, but I think the main reason to come here is just to get some build ideas. You know, there's a lot of good YouTube tutorials out there, and you know, other good material to look at. But doing it in game yourself, actually coming here and seeing it generated in the world, you know, it gives you a better perspective of things. I mean, just this corridor in itself, just having the wooden planks go to the top, and then just to sort of like flush it off, they've just got stairs on top, and you know, it gives a really good symmetry design to it. It just looks really cool. At the end of this hallway is the staircase I want to show you. Look at this. Nice grand staircase going all the way to the top. There's some wooden planks here. It looks really cool, look really flush. And we have another little monument there. Well, it's not really a monument, it's like it's a custom banner. You can make that with blocks if you wanted to. I might do that on another video. Yeah, I'm more impressed with the staircase. I like the staircase more than I like that. Something I haven't noticed until now is you can see the portal entrance that we've used to get here from the Woodland Mansion. You can't really tell, but that is at the top there is where our Nether portal is. Again, full credit to Envision. He spent a long time getting here and a long time making sure we could get back and forth quite safely. So big ups to him. There's a bedroom I want to show you before we leave to go back to the base, and I just want to show you it just because I think it gives some good ideas. So we got a table and chair overlooking the woods, which I think is really chill. It's got a little plant pot there, and again, just using a simple idea like putting a carpet on top of the table, it just gives it a little bit more decoration. Looks really cool. And then we got the bed, 4-poster bed. Again, block, fences, stairs, and a bit of carpet with some woolen blocks, and you get a good little bed set up. And if you really wanted to, what are you doing? If you really wanted to, what you could do is in the middle here, if you had the right colour bed. So obviously it's red carpet. I've only got the black, you know, the black bed on me. You know, you could have it there, and this could be, you know, like a functional bedroom for you. But I think it just looks better, just having it as a bed, as just decoration. I think that just that on its own looks really cool. And that concludes the short little tour of the Woodland Mansion. We're going to head back to the main base now to show you the other projects that we've been sort of completing, and some that are under construction with kind of like builder's block. I'm not sure where I'm going to take one idea that I'll show you. But what we're going to do is we'll end the video after I show you all that with us recreating this statue somewhere close to home base. I've got a few ideas of where to put it, but for now, let's just take that long journey back. So, we made it back to home base, and the first thing I want to share with you is this glass dome that Mr. Envision was very kind enough to create for me. In my head I had an idea of how I wanted to incorporate like a dome into the base, because I kind of want to make it look less rural, and I want to start making it look a bit more urban. So I want to get a bit more concrete in there. I want to get, you know, some more tall structures on the go. But at this moment in time, I'm not sure where to go with the idea of, you know, to evolve this dome into the world. I'm completely open to suggestions. The idea of having it filled with lava has been thrown around between me and my friends, Alternatively, having it filled with water. I've only put this this bottom supporting pillar there just to give myself some sort of visual sort of template to go off of where I want to take it. I'm toying with the idea of having stairs come off the four sides of the dome and having the stairs meet up in the centre of it to make use of it. I want to bring some light source into there as well. But overall it looks very bare at the moment, and that's just purely because I'm not sure where to press forward, how to evolve it and incorporate it into the base. So I'm completely open to suggestions of what to do with it going forward. Okay, the next thing I want to show you is like a little walkway that I took a few hours out of my time because I was bored one day, and I just sort of wanted to make a little design. The sort of idea of making it came just by having, I think it was like a 5x5 square, and then extending that 5x5 square out into like a corridor, and then eventually turning it into like a rectangle sort of shape. And then from there I just started adding little details like the fence above the roof, adding some lanterns, some bushes around it, just to make it just look a little bit more, I was going to say presentable, but just a little bit more lived in. I mean, the whole point of Minecraft is to sort of challenge your creativity, and I'm almost happy with how it looks. The only thing I'm not happy with is, again, it doesn't really serve anything to the world at the moment, and that's just because our little spawn base is quite bare of structures. These walkways, which don't have the pattern on the floor, I've left them blank because I do want these to be continual walkways, like leading to other buildings eventually. So this walkway at the moment doesn't really lead to anything, but maybe it could lead to another area further down the coast, or maybe leading to like another structure. Again, open to ideas. And this thing that you can see on the left hand side, which isn't finished yet, is going to be what I hope will be like a map room. And it's kind of like a weird idea that I've got. The idea that I want is, so I'd have like four walls in this room, and on each wall I'd have like a different version of the map. And by a different version, what I mean is, so this map I've got here is like the most zoomed out you can get. So I would have this as the centerpiece on one wall. You can't really visualize it because I haven't got it set up. I don't have any item frames on me. But I'd have like this version spreading out over one section of the wall. Probably I'm going to go for like a 5x5. So this would be in the center of it. And then if you look to your left or right on the other walls, there'd be like the smaller versions of the map, if that sort of makes sense. That's where I want to go with it. I've got the X there, and what I'm thinking of doing is maybe on the back, on the window, having Y, and that's just like a little nod to grid references, like X and Y. You can see the X there. So I think maybe if I have the Y on the back, it would make sense in my mind to represent like a map room, or map building. I'm not satisfied with how vanilla the base of it looks at the moment, but it's not finished yet. So these little details, everything comes together in the end. I mean, I've still got scaffolding from this build. I think the story of my Minecraft world is great ideas, but just a lot of laziness. I tend to start one project before I've even finished another. Now, the last thing that I want to show you before we go ahead and recreate that statue somewhere in the world is the questionable map art that I mentioned at the beginning of the video. Now, I'm not going to give you too many details of what it's supposed to be. Art is open to interpretation, and this particular map art was again created by Mr. Envision. He has a lot of time on his hands, and this is what he created. Again, you can make of that what you will. I'm just going to say it's an anime girl picture, and he informs me that the section of the map that this is made on is very far away, and it took him a long time to create. If you would like to see where in the world it was made, I'm sure I can ask him for the coordinates and we can take a pilgrimage out there if anyone really wants to see that. But yeah, that's some map art for you. So I think I'm pretty much set on this location to recreate the cat statue. Yeah, I like the backdrop for it. I've got some ideas of how to expand on it when it's complete, but I'm just going to go ahead and I'm gonna add the statue onto a plinth. So you'll see what I mean in a second. And here we have it. It didn't take me too long to make it. I'd probably say it took me like 10 minutes. And yeah, it was really easy. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to surround it with just like a wall of cats. I've already brought one over here just for a laugh. But yeah, I think just on the outside of it I'll just have as many cats as we can get. And if for whatever strange reason, an unknown reason, you would like a cat named after you, let me know in the comment section. But for now, that's everything from me, and I'll see you in the next update video. Stay safe.